watched. I tell you which game I liked was the DC Defenders.
Was that the first game?
That was the first game.
Yeah,
And of course, I'm an OSU homer, so they had Cardell Jones as their quarterback, who looked fantastic. I was emotionally invested in that game, so to speak. So I guess I don't know what 8 teams they got in the league. I would guess I would have to say that the DC Defenders are, quote, my team, at least for right now, because of the fact they have former Ohio State quarterback Cardell Jones. So if you're going to start, damn it, it's a new league. You got to pick. Here's your chance to start from scratch, Mike. Okay, because they don't have a Philly team.
Yeah.
Right. So, and they don't have a Columbus team or any team from Ohio. So it's kind of a pick 'em for you. And I like what I saw so far.
Okay.
What was your impressions of the XFL?
So, preseason football?
Yeah, absolutely.
Take preseason football. Take the same players and give them shittier uniforms with names of cities that you've never seen affiliated with football. That's pretty much what I thought about it.
So you weren't a fan?
No, it's preseason football. I don't give a shit about it. It's like watching a bunch of scrubs play each other, and once again, shitty uniforms with shittier team names. What was that? The Seattle
Dragons.
The Dragons. Dragons. What was the DC mascots?
Well, they were defenders, so they were like first responders. I think was kind of what the theme they were going for. I'm not sure what the actual mascot was. I wasn't really focused on that, but I thought it was. I will say I thought that compared to the 2001 incarnation of the XFL, I thought there was less. This time around, there was less spectacle, less, so to speak. And there was more meat to it.
There wasn't a lot of penalties called, which was interesting.
Well, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Great. I love that. It was relatively clean.
And now, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to mention that there was a lot less penalties called.
I like that. There's a better flow to the game. They let them kind of play, which I kind of dug. I think just by the sheer. When we thought the XFL came out in the early 90s or early 2001, dude, we thought it was going to be like people are going to get killed. Like,
well, there was no roughing the passer call. There was
no fair catches,
stuff like that. There was like the kick. There wasn't a kickoff. There was like a scrum for the ball. Like the two fastest guys from each, or one fastest guy from each team, they would race to the ball. The ball would be placed at like the 50-yard line.
I remember that, yeah.
And on the league was snake bit in 2001. You knew how it was snake bit. I know you probably saw that behind the ESPN 30 for 30. The XFL was like on the opening day, one of the first games, or maybe it was the first game itself, when they did that thing where the two guys were running.
Oh, they hurt themselves.
The first guy like broke his arm.
Yeah,
like was out for the season. Like first play of the game.
Yeah. We watched that game
and.
Because wasn't it after Raw or something like that, or
no? This is during the day. This is daytime. I remember when this stuff came on, or Saturday night or something.
I just remember He Hate Me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like the first play of like the XFL, the guy ends his career at least for the season, and it was like what I don't know, was that the first game or the second game? It was like live from like L.A. and the power went out.
Yeah,
the power went out. And not only do the power go out, but the generators they have that bring back up the electricity in case the power goes out and doing a live football broadcast. Darn it, wouldn't you know, the generators, they forgot to bring the gas. Wow, what a coincidence. Now, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy.
It was just
but I'm just saying, how do you not plan for that? I mean,
folly of errors, man.
Why do you bring the generators if you don't bring gas for the generators?
It's just, I
don't know how I got on that.
Back in a long trip, and I forgot my underwear, right? I mean, you have so many things, you forget the most obvious. Like, I literally went skiing the other weekend, and I forgot my boots.
But did you forget your backup boots?
I didn't have any boots. That's
what I'm saying. I know. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like disaster strikes, and you're like, oh, well, we didn't do that. But anyway, I thought there was less gimmick. Yeah. Less gimmicky, and it was more, less sizzle, more steak, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I thought that the play is much better, already better than 2001. I think the 2001 version. I think that they're taking it as more as a serious product and not like a circus sideshow, which was how it was originally marketed back in the day. Whereas like we were the anti-NFL, and like you said, someone could die and blah 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 blah. And of course, the hype is never going to live up to what you want it to be.
I just don't understand the purpose of coming up with a league where it's probably not going to make it beyond a couple of years. It's just like
well, we don't know that, but you're right. Statistically speaking,
the statistics aren't good, right? And it's like, well, maybe if I just do it a little bit differently, or if I have it's like, no, it's the fact that Americans aren't going to spend a lot of time watching minor league sports.
I think what what the XFL needs if they want to be sustainable for the long run is they need to do something that the NFL isn't doing. And what I mean by that, I mean, they are doing some things that, like, well, first of all, what did you think of the kickoff? Did you like that? Did you notice the kickoff, how the guys were standing, what was it, like 10 or 20 yards apart?
Yeah, they changed up the staggering.
And nobody can run until the guy catches the ball. This is to cut down on the impact, the collision impact, which I think, mark my words, I'm going to go on record right now as saying you will see the NFL adopt the same or similar kickoff in the coming years. I don't know if it'll be next year or 5 years from now, because they're trying to cut back on all the. You're going to see them adopt a similar or same kind of kickoff. The NFL will, mark my words, just because I think that's a good idea.
The only way it would survive is the NFL truly embraced it as a developmental league and actually supported it. Kind of.
But isn't the college football already the?
I think it's like, so you have your practice squatters where they can't really get a lot of game. You know, it's not like because like in Major League Baseball, you can send them down to AAA. That's your practice squad, but they're playing in real games and getting better. You're only going to get so much better playing, against the practice squad team. And so I do think if you're going to embrace a developmental league where basically that's your practice squad, then I mean, the only problem though is if you play. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the only dilemma they would have, though, as a developmental league is that they played in the spring and got the call-up. That means then they played, an 8-game season in the preseason and then had to play a full NFL. They probably get the injury.
Well, but if it was going to be strictly just a developmental league, like you said, but wouldn't that already be so with the CFL? I mean, they've been around for decades. They've been thriving.
Yeah, I think it's because a lot of the contracts, they make the best players sign that you can't just jump to the NFL, which means a lot of the NFL. That's why Manziel had a big issue with the Argonauts, is that he didn't want to sign with them because they were preventing him from just the second he got an NFL contract.
That's what the XFL did with Landry Jones. He got someone wanted to sign the NFL, and they were like, no, you're committed to the XFL. So he couldn't have been thrilled. But hey, from the XFL's point of view, you can't blame him. Like, if I'm the NFL and I'm trying to put him out of the business, and I don't think the XFL is anywhere on the NFL's radar. I don't think they're sitting around going, man, we better keep an eye on this guy. No.
I think for them, it's not even. It's just like, oh,
good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Cool.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Hey. All right. Awesome. Good for you.
But so yeah, I don't think they're going to start plucking their talent.
That would be like
over.
XFL to NFL would be like me opening up Mike's Burger Shack and then going, "Hey, McDonald's, are you worried about this?
You should be. You see me over here?
Like, oh, that's cute. Oh,
that's cute.
You're making burgers. Oh.